Really? Dang. Come on, man. You're robbing the people. You're robbing the people.
Today should be offense. Tomorrow should just be about the wide receiver.
Okay.
Break it down.
Brian's a great guy.
Don't lie to the people.
But today, John Tavares, BNS.
Coach, take a look at the quarterback race. What are you seeing, and what should we take away from what we saw Saturday?
I don't know. What did you see Saturday? I think that they're competing at a high level, which I appreciate. I think earlier in the spring I identified that, their preparation outside of the allotted time on their own to prepare for practices is very apparent. That's continued. I think that they are very hard on themselves, which they need to be. We are as well. The expectations here is the highest in college football, and they know that. I think that we're chasing consistency across the board, not just quarterbacks, just every position, frankly. And, that position more than ever. I mean, that's the only guy that's going to touch the ball every play, him in the center. So, what he does and then how he protects that ball and facilitates for his O-line and his skill positions is really important. The guys are doing a good job. Really proud of where they're at. Probably, Coach will handle most of those conversations and Coach Fessler. But, I can't say it's ever good enough. That's college football. That's Ohio State. But they're on a good trajectory, and I appreciate the way they've gone about each day.
Dan Holt, 11 Warriors. Ryan, how do you feel like the depth is coming along at wide receiver? Are you seeing, those 4, 5, 6 guys that you want to have there?
Yeah, I think there's definitely a group, I should say, forming. How deep that is, I'm not fully sure yet. I mean, it's definitely coming along. Very encouraged with the young guys, though. The freshmen that have come in, they're competing. They are making mistakes, but quicking the mistakes quickly and not making repeated mistakes. They're making some plays. There's probably some consistency level at which they, you wish it was a little better, but they're doing a good job taking meetings to the field. So lots of encouraging sign early on, and I anticipate that to continue through summer.
Jake Trotter, ESPN.
Yeah, Brian, off the season that Jeremiah just had, how have you challenged him this spring, this offseason, and where can he still develop and grow given how young he still is?
Yeah, he's really young. I think that, he doesn't operate like that. He operates, beyond his years. But the techniques and the fundamentals, he's chasing, like a lot of the guys. I mean, you get to a certain point where you're doing a really good job. You're chasing that 1%. You're chasing that finite growth. It's not always seen on film. The individual may feel it, whether it be your base or your technique and the consistency at which you do those things. That's what he's chasing. I think he's chasing football IQ, learning more about the game, defensive structure, anticipation, more than reactionary. But there's always ways to grow. I mean, if you try to mark the goals of these young men and where they currently are, they're obviously not where they want to be. So whatever that gap that needs to get filled, that's what he's chasing. So I'm sure he has some of the highest goals, and he's not that right now. So he is chasing that gap, minimizing that gap, and he's doing a good job being hard on himself.
Over to the right, Andrew Gillis, Cleveland.com.
Brian, you've been on staff with him now for a couple of weeks. What have your impressions been of Tyler Bowen as a recruiter and how he's handled himself on that recruiting trail?
Yeah, I mean, I just think he's a great dude, man. Like, I enjoy talking with him. I like being around him. Very smart from a football standpoint. I love the way he views things. I love mechanically how he tries to, help these guys execute plays based on body mechanics and leverages and strike points. I just like, his view on things. So I enjoy that. But as you're talking football and I enjoy talking to him and being around him as a person too. So his ability to connect with guys doesn't shock me. I mean, I connect with him. So, but I've been very impressed with the amount of young men that have visited and been on campus. And I just think he's putting a lot of time into it, a lot of effort, and it's definitely showing. So he's doing one heck of a job, and we're just trying to help him out as we can.
Joey Kaufman, Columbus Dispatch.
Ryan was mentioning the idea of increasing Jeremiah's route tree, something you guys have been working on? Where was it last year, and where can it, I guess, grow, or can you just kind of expand on that a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, it just, asking JJ to do everything. You don't ever want to put him in a box. You don't want to put Carnell in a box. You don't want to put anybody in a box. So to make sure he's fully equipped with every tool necessary to do anything that's required of a receiver at the college level or the NFL level. We take a lot of pride in developing that route tree technique, but it's really the play with the mind of routes based on coverage and all those things. So, but yeah, just trying to find ways to challenge them, and that's been one of the ways we've done that.
Austin Ward, Rivals.
Ryan, when you guys were talking as an offensive staff about the possibility of having the quarterbacks go live, were you surprised that it came up? Were you surprised that you guys wound up doing it? What were the deliberations?
I'm surprised it's even a conversation. Like, it should always be live. That's how you play football. So, obviously, there's a proximity to the season, which is a little reckless. I understand that. But in spring, when you're competing for jobs, I mean, if I'm a quarterback, I'm asking to be live so I can show him how I'm different than, anyone that can't be live. You know what I mean? You're always trying to find an edge. And if you're never fully live, I don't think you fully give guys opportunity to be who they want to be or be who they can be. So that being said, I will cast my vote, but that will not be my final decision on that. But I will cast my vote. The guys have handled it well. It was good for all parties involved. And the more we can do that, the better. But I'm sure that is coming to a close here very quickly. So.
Brian, Jeremiah off the field, we saw after practice on Saturday, the mob that came to get autographs and things. When you're working with him on all these things you're talking about, but also dealing with the life of being one of the biggest names in college football, how do you help mentor him in that aspect of things?
Yeah, I mean, it's a blessing to be able to be in a position where can provide insight or I wouldn't say recommendations, but just give perspective. How he chooses to receive the perspective or not want it or not, I mean, he always does, but which is fine. But to be in that position is really humbling. That being said, he does a really good job on his own. He doesn't need checked on too much. He's really done a great job. Again, the way he was raised and his morals and humble and always signing, taking pictures. I'm always trying to be the bad guy for him because he's not going to be. And just says again more about his character. But he's not the only. I mean, he's not the only guy. Any guy would kind of do that. We have a group full of awesome young guys. But Jeremiah's done a great job with it, handling it, and it's definitely growing at an exponential rate, to say the least. But I think he's built for it, and he's been handled at a high level. But those around him, we're trying to help him out a little bit. Yeah.
What made Quincy the first freshman to lose his black stripe this year?
Yeah, I mean, that's a good question. I think that, frankly, I'm not really fully involved with that. So I can be, but I wasn't. I think that people on the outside, whether it be defense or even Coach Day or anybody brought it to my attention, we were kind of just going about practice, and that's our expectation, to make plays, not make mistakes. And he was starting to make a lot of plays consistently. And I think the consistent level that he's been as a person, being on time and doing his job description on each play, and the ball is coming your way, you're making some big plays, and it starts being seen by your peers, and your peers start asking for it. They start barking, get his stripe off, all those kind of things. That's the ultimate sign of respect, I think, when your peers go to your bat, and he's not going for his bat. No one else. People are bringing it to your position coach. I think it speaks volumes of the general respect that you're earning through the process. So I think something like that happened, and it was well deserved based on his peers and the other coaches.
Ryan Day was talking about how impressed he's been this spring with Austin Saraville, all that he's been able to do, and Tyler Bowen was talking last week about the importance of the cross-training and all that goes into that. Just how much have you seen Austin benefit from this spring and everywhere that he's been, and how big of a piece do you think he's going to be regardless of where he fits on this offensive line?
Yeah, I think Austin's been awesome. I mean, he literally. I mean, I don't know what I'm gonna say. He's played every position. We just move him around, and he handles it. And he's one of those guys. I feel like you watch film over and over again, day after day, and his name never really gets brought up. In a good way. Like the O line, your name gets brought up when usually not going as well. I mean, they're literally at the point of attack on every single play, so there's nowhere to hide. And so, but Austin, when his name gets brought up, it's like, man, that was a good job. Right, good job, pass off that combo. Whatever. It's always positive, and been really impressed with him. He started in the winter, did a great job through the winter. Again, continuing to build the respect for his peers, and then he's done a good job, really good job, just being very consistent through spring.
Far left, Jeff Gilbert, Press Pros.
Brian, since you've been working more with the whole offense, when it comes to quarterback play, what has grown in your, appreciation of that position and what those guys have to do and go through? What do you think more about those guys versus maybe what you thought before as just a wide receiver guy?
Yeah, I mean, there's no just a wide receiver guy. If you are just a wide receiver guy,
That way, but
you won't be a very layer long. It's all about quarterback play, So I think in that same world, though, to the point is that, in order to be a great receiver or receiver guy, whatever you want to call it, there's only one page, it's the quarterback's page. So everything is based off them. Whether it be their progression, their timing, the stresses they have is what we're trying to minimize. So if you don't fully understand the quarterback play, it's hard to maximize receiver play, I think. That being said, I'm still always learning. I think that I can't say anything's jumped out massively right now, but I would say that I guess I would say the preparation level. I mean, what is required to execute and play at a high level is just not capable in the allotted time, right? I mean, there's only so much time we're allowed to be with players. If you're not willing to spend, your own time getting prepared for practice to maximize one's ability, there's a good chance you're not going to maximize your ability. So, other positions, O-line, same thing. Receiver play sometimes can get away from it. We do a great job studying and being in the room extra for sure. But the requirement of a quarterback to know, to fix protections, to be our run game coordinator based on the calls, to get us in different checks. There's so much they need to know. And frankly, the O-line's only as good as the quarterback. The receiver's only as good as the quarterback. The offense is only as good as the quarterback. And it's our responsibility to put guys in position to maximize what they're capable of maximizing. But their inability to notice that they need to spend extra time outside the allotted time, I think, is critical. And the amount that it takes, I guess I was maybe a little naive to, but the guys are doing a great job doing it.
Got time for just a couple more. Coach has got a meeting. Rob Aller, Columbus Dispatch.
Yeah, Brian, you guys reached the mountaintop. You got a banner out there, national champs. How do you keep these guys grounded, being in the moment, looking ahead, not back? Are you tougher on them because?
No, I think that. I think we have a lot of guys. I think it's understanding that we were trying to build the map to get to where you wanted to get to, but now that we have the map, doesn't mean we've traveled the path. So, we know what it looks like. The guys that are here know what it's supposed to look like. The guys before us set an unbelievable example of how to get to where you want to get to. So the focus is on trying to replicate what they just did and how they operated. We can't say we've done that right now. So it's very easy to stay motivated because they already know it's not good enough, frankly. And so the last thing they want to do is put in a ton of effort and then not reach their goals. So motivation, I don't think, is needed. I think there is a catching up of those that maybe aren't quite sure what it takes, but overall, motivation is not what we've needed. Clarity of message is definitely what we've been focused on, and I think the message is being received. So, not concerned about motivation and the looking back, if you will. I think everyone's pretty focused on being forward and knowing we haven't accomplished anything. So,
Stephen Means, Cleveland.com.
Who would you say is the leader of your wide receiver room right now?
I would say Carnell Tate, Brandon Ennis, probably have done the most outspoken, in the room. I would say that they're doing a good job. Those are probably the two guys that would jump out of my room. Yep.
Because Brandon, he's been vocal, obviously. Carnell taking on that role
Yep.
more and being more vocal. He's a good football player, obviously, and there's things he's got to do there, but that process for him and becoming a more vocal leader, for you to say that about him.
What was the question?
Carnell, like, what have you seen, like, the growth
Oh.
part of it?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's pulled guys aside, and had one-on-one conversations with them. He's locked into, I think he saw the impact that Emeka made and the role he played, and to think that you're going to lose that and then be a better group probably doesn't mathematically make sense to him. So someone's got to step up in that role. And one, everyone respects him. Two, he knows he's capable of it. And it's just the desire and the appreciation, I think, to be at the older table now, at the older head, and appreciate the way Emeka probably went about his business. And so he probably valued that, appreciated that, and he's just making sure we still have that.
Final question, Bill Rabinowitz, Columbus Dispatch.
Could you assess the running back room? I think it's pretty much assumed both those running backs, CJ and James, think that a tandem system is probably the way you got to go again. How do you think how is it working? And do you see third and maybe fourth guys popping in there?
I think that, in college football, or NFL football, any football really, you got to have depth in the running back room. I think that it's very apparent in the NFL. It's usually a two-back system. Very rarely is it one guy. But in college, I think we saw the benefit of that last year. The ability to complement each other is really important. I think the ability for us to identify what they do great and put them in good positions to be what they are, and what they're best at, I should say, is really important as a coaching staff. I've been very impressed with even the younger guys, Sam and Bo, and the way they've come along. Consistency is still what you're chasing, right? You're always able to. That's why you're here. But how often you do it ultimately dictates how much you play. So, but overall, I think the lock's been on them. They understand the standard in pass pro, and not being a guy we got to sub out because you can't pass protect. So we were blessed, especially with Trey last year and Quinshawn. So, but no, these guys have done a good job. They're competing. They've been very coachable. It's shown up a lot on film. Yeah, I mean, it's always hard on backs. I mean, every opportunity you get to go live and break tackles really gives you the most feedback on what these guys are capable of. If you're just playing tag out there, you never get any yard. At least you shouldn't. But the running backs, on contact days have done a good job. James has done a really good job growing. Really excited about him. Everyone's really excited about him and CJ. I think ultimately, how good would the group be was probably based on, the bottom rising, right? I mean, you're gonna have some guys at the top, but where's the floor? And so I think Bo and Sam, those guys have done a really good job, and we need some more guys to get healthy, more guys on campus, but very encouraged.
Coach, thank you very much.
Thank you.